It's only my opinion. Coffee milk.
Welcome people, welcome to the show. This is Coffee Milk. My name is Clayon. So, this happened. And this. And this. And that. And that. All of that happened for me yesterday, and it kind of shook me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was not expected to have the emotional reaction that I had when I saw the image of this. I was not expecting to feel like, imagine seeing someone invade your house while you're on vacation, and you could see it on like surveillance camera, like you could see them doing all this stuff, but you can't do anything about it. You can just watch them. That's how it felt. It felt like a bunch of vandals were destroying something that I did not realize that I cared that much about. So it was intense. It was definitely an intense situation to have to watch. It is amazing to me, though, that a group of people, of adults, could be encouraged and convinced by an invalid that they should put their life and freedom on the line for his name, for his cause that doesn't necessarily support them in any way, shape, or form. That they're not capable or able to look beyond their own bias and look for the actual facts. Like, the facts are usually in front of you. It's just, are you willing to search for the facts? Are you willing to go towards, you willing to go somewhere that challenges your belief, your inner belief, the thing that you have been taught by your parents and been taught by society? Are you able to challenge that? A lot of these people aren't. They let their biases drive them through their entire life, and they're not willing to sort of grow or evolve beyond that. They get this base knowledge of what they assume an individual is, or a culture is, or a race is, and then they continue that belief. No matter what, you can come at them with facts. They will negate those facts to keep their belief. I've had friends, or people that I've considered friends, that I believe are like that. They will ignore the facts because it makes them feel uncomfortable. These people have completely ignored the facts because they want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel like they run this country, right? They're afraid because the United States is changing a little bit. It's becoming a little bit more melanin, a little bit more Latinx, Muslim, Asians, all kinds. It's actually becoming what it's supposed to be, diverse. But those people, they're afraid of that. Fear drives them, and when fear drives you, you do stupid shit. You do. When you allow just fear to be your fuel, nothing but stupidity will come from that. And it's shown from the actions of these people. They let fear drive them to do stupid crap because an ignorant human being convince them that he's on their side, even though clear evidence from his actions to what he says points to the opposite. But they truck on in their belief because that's their comfort zone. If they choose to believe something else, it's going to take them out of their comfort zone. I'm also like, I think I got emotional too because I go through this life as a black man and I can only digest things as a black man, right? And I'm well aware that if I was on the other side, if it was more people that looked like me on the other side, that it would be so opposite. Like the law enforcement, it would be more intense. Lots of people, I think, which I'm really proud of, has sort of reiterate that, the fact that if it was black people, like look how they coddled and treat these people who were bum rushing the Capitol with guns and bombs. And peaceful protest from black people saying, hey, guess what? We matter, guys. Hey, I'm a human. I should be treated as a human as fairly as you guys were treated. They get pepper sprayed, all kinds of tanks come out, all these tactics where they're pepper sprayed. Like it's just chaos. Every time we want to say, hey, we matter. But anytime white people decide that they're upset about something stupid, like, I don't know, the gym is closed and they really want to go to the gym to work out because you know how much white people love to work out, they get upset and then they bring their guns out to show you that they mean business. We run this. Look at our guns. Our guns prove that we run this, as you could tell. It's your only way of communication. Brandish guns, and it's just, I don't want to go on a gun tangent. Yeah. I think the people that we elect are weak. They're weak because they don't have imagination, a lot of them. They're weak because they stifle the people who do have imagination. Anyone that thinks outside the box gets sort of stuffed further in the box. They don't have the courage to call treason and insurrection out. Not all of them. More of them should be. I'm sure, I'm not sure. I hope as time progresses, more of them will come to their senses and they'll realize that they can't sort of be on the same side as this traitor of our country, traitor of our peace, traitor of our sanity. He's been a dictator of our emotions for these 4 years, and enough is enough. I'm done, and I'm sure that the rest of you guys are done. So, I don't know. We're gonna head into the facts of what we know right now from the situation. So 4 people died. So a woman was shot earlier Wednesday as the mob tried to break through the barricade door in the Capitol where the police were armed on the other side. She was hospitalized with a gunshot wound, and she later passed away. They said that there were pipe bombs, to be specific. Yeah, pipe bombs were recovered outside the building. There was also the police, they say they found a cooler in a vehicle, and it had a long gun and a bunch of Molotov cocktail. So there's clearly people there armed. So those are the facts from, what happened. And anyways, we're gonna move on to what I have planned for the rest of the show. I don't want to dwell on this too much. This is, a lot to take on. So I'm gonna hit you with what I have. So we're gonna start with the first topic that I have for the day. Meghan McCain, my friends. Lovely Meghan McCain. I think she's a lovely woman. Okay, I'm lying. Alright, okay, I'm lying. I think she's an awful human being. I think she is the type of human being that I personally, anytime I'm around them, like my skin just crawls. That's the type of person. I can't even be in their presence for more than 5 minutes. The anger just builds up because, to me personally, Meghan McCain is the type of person that doesn't see she doesn't see the harm of something unless it's happening to her, and then she's aware of it. But if you tell her on the outside that, hey, this thing is happening, she'll be like, no, I don't see it. She's that type of human, and I don't like humans like that. But anyways, the reason why I want to talk about Meghan McCain. So she came back to The View on Monday after giving birth to a baby in which she named, her and her husband named Liberty. So it's a very typical name, I guess, right? That's a cool name. Liberty's good. So she came back and she all of a sudden sort of had a revelation, like something exploded. There was an epiphany that happened in her brain. She realized that having a baby and immediately coming back to work is really hard on a woman because they just gave birth to a whole human. And damn, that is tough. Why didn't I realize it was tough before? I don't know. Anyways, so to her, she sort of started connecting things. She was like, we're Republicans, right? Family values is what we always say we stand for. How come we are not supporting women? Having some sort of break after having a child. Maybe it being a universal thing where it doesn't matter your job. It doesn't matter what job you work. If you have a child, there's a certain amount of time that you need off. Not only for you to connect with your child, but also rest your body because, you just gave birth to a child. The child just came out of you. Now, don't get me wrong. Revelation is good. The fact that your mind has changed or has evolved, that's a good thing. I think you should always leave room for your mind to change. That's not the issue that I have. It's the grandstanding after coming to this realization. Which there's nothing wrong with that if you are actually going to then fight for women to get time off after giving birth. But if you're not, if you just want to grandstand, then shut up. So Will.I.AM was on Wyclef's talk show or a podcast. They weren't completely clear. It's a Wyclef Jean show, and the show is called Run That Back. And he was interviewing on the show, and he said something that I found interesting, and I didn't realize that people thought this way. He was a little upset, and I don't know if upset is the proper way to describe that, but he says disappointed, so I'm going to use his word. He said he felt disappointed that the Black Eyed Peas wasn't celebrated as a black group. And the only reason I would think that the masses would come to that assumption is because Fergie was in the group. So this is what he said. He said, I'm a black dude. But when you think Black Eyed Peas, we got so big that it hurts, and it still hurts a little bit. So he says that we're not considered a black group because we got that big. So he's not even thinking, I guess like I was thinking, that it has sort of anything to do with race, but he believes that they got big because they got so huge as a group. For some reason, people don't consider them. But is that a true thing? Like, I don't know. Is that a if someone gets big, do you not consider, like Michael Jackson is huge. He's still considered a black man. Even when he got rid of his pigment, we still considered him a black man. You know, Beyonce's huge. Consider her a black woman. We don't separate her in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not. If he has come to the conclusion that the Black Eyed Peas, that they're not seen as a black group, I don't know if it's because they got too big. I don't know if that's the case. I think if you're going to be honest, if you believe that the black community doesn't consider you a black group, it probably has to do because it's mixed. And I'm not even saying that's a fact. Like I said, I don't even know. So, anyways, yeah, it's weird. It's weird sometimes how we can be a part of a group, but also feel like we don't belong. Maybe because we don't feel like we're being embraced fully. Maybe it's seeing how the black community embraces someone that they think that are their own, and how quickly we are to shun someone, even if they look like us, because we don't think they're quote unquote with us. I feel like the Black Eyed Peas have always shown they're with us. They've always made positive music, whether it's an upbeat dancing type of stuff to actual social talk, talking about social issues. Like their last couple of albums, heavy on the social issue, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the mix. I appreciate the challenging yourself and evolving. So I would love to hear from people, and see what they think. If you guys out there think that the Black Eyed Peas aren't considered a black group, hey, let me know. I don't know. I've always considered them to be a black group. I don't think because you have different race within your dynamic, it doesn't necessarily make you not black. I feel like it's all about what you're projecting, what you're giving off. And Black Eyed Peas has never given off because you could be pop and still be black. So, anyways, moving on. So my friends, Snoop Dogg and Marshall Mathers have been going at it. It started because Snoop Dogg went on the Breakfast Club and he sort of said that he's not feeling Eminem that much. Not that he's not feeling Eminem that much, but that Eminem is not necessarily on his top 10. So, gosh darn it, I'm gonna wait. I'll be right back. That's what I get for talking with my hands. I'm such a hand talker. I can't control them. This is not gonna be enough. All right, now I'm back. So, like I was saying before, Snoop, Eminem. They are, I don't know if they're not feeling each other, but they're definitely having some conflicts. They're definitely having some issues because of what Snoop said. Snoop, like I said before, he said that M wasn't on his top 10 list of artists, and M kind of got offended. M said he got offended because of the tone in which Monsieur Snoop Dogg used. And I would agree, especially if you're supposed to be part of the same camps, part of the same music camp. You should sort of, if you do have an issue, I think you should talk to your label mate or music mate or whatever about it first before you just sort of go on camera and say what you said. And even if you are going to be honest on camera, understand that words matter and inflections matter. How you use said words matter, and tone matters. So, yeah, I understand Eminem being upset with Snoop, and I understand Snoop having his own opinion. You don't, just because you're part of the same group or label or friend dynamic, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to lie or believe that your label mate is good. You have every right to have your opinion on that one. I guess that's not where my concern is on this issue. It's people, when they are talking about Eminem, I don't feel like they put enough respect on Eminem's name. And that kind of upsets me a little bit. As a dude that grew up in the Marshall Mathers era, it upsets me because I feel like it's bias, right? I feel like a lot of the Eminem hates comes from, and people who hate or don't like Eminem always have this argument that he wasn't, it wasn't his skills that drove him to the level that he ended up in. It was the fact that he was white. Now, clearly, being white goes into his success, right? Yes, it's amazing that here's this white dude. It's always, through the history of America, it's always amazing when a white dude does black shit, is the simplest way for me to put it. When a white dude does black shit, America is amazed. If he does black shit well. So in addition with being upset with Eminem because he does black shit well, they're upset because they feel like he is taking a place of a black person who could have profited being a rapper. So he's, not only is he a white guy that does black shit well, but now he might have been taking the place of another rapper, a black rapper that does well too, but because Eminem's white, he got more shine than the black rapper, and blang, blang, blang. Like, that is the argument, and that's an invalid argument. You can't prove that. And you can't chastise someone because of their skin color and because their skin color helped them to rise in a certain way. I just think that's not necessarily a fair argument. Now, if you don't like Eminem's songs and what the topics that he rapped about, fine. I could totally understand not relating to some of the issues that he was writing about. Might be culturally different from how you grew up and how you saw the world. That's fine. But you can't say that a person's skill is lower because you don't necessarily connect with their subject. Those are two different arguments. Those are two different conversations. You could have a conversation about the skill of a person, and then you can have a conversation about the type of songs that they make. To clump those into one is just ignorant, in my opinion.
You might not agree, it's cool, I'm one of a gang. Trying to move forward, so I gotta be progressive. Gotta make sure everything I say is selective. It's only my opinion. coffee, man.